title goes to Kim So-young and Kong Hee-young. And Se-young creates history. The first home pair to ever win the mixed doubles title at the Japan Open. A second Japan Open title for Victor Axelsen. The Olympic champions are back.
Lucky place. Tokyo. Yeah, Tokyo. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Badminton Weekly with me, Jasmine Lim. Tokyo, or as you just saw, Lucky Tokyo, took center stage where history was made and upsets were dealt in the recently concluded Daihatsu Japan Open. So plenty of headlines to cover from the land of the rising sun before we head down under to look ahead at the upcoming Sathya Group Australia Open. Today, I'm delighted to welcome back India's doubles player, Ashwini Ponnappa. Welcome back to the show, Ashwini.
Hi Jasmine, thanks for having me.
Let's start with the men's doubles category, where Chinese Taipei's Li Yang and Wang Qilin found themselves at the top of the podium for the first time since winning the gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics 2020. Li and Wang had struggled to reach similar heights since then, but their performance last week was nothing short of spectacular, especially when you look at the pairs they've had to face on their way to the title.
One of the key matches for them getting to the finals and winning the Japan Open is definitely that quarterfinal match against Ranki Reddy and Shetty, because that match was probably one of the hardest, especially given that Ranki Reddy and Shetty have been in incredible form, having won the Korea Open and having done really well in the last couple of months. And getting that win against them would have definitely boosted their confidence. After that quarterfinal match, I would say their semi-final match and their final match was a lot smoother. They seemed more confident with the way they were playing their shots, and everything seemed to be flowing for them. I think the thing that impressed me the most about Wang and Li is the fact that they were on fire on court, and the fact that they've been incredibly fast, fierce, and very focused on court. Li was incredibly fast at the net, as he always is. He's really good at the net, he's really good at reading, and Wang was really quick in the mid-court area. And the nice thing about their matches that I've watched is the fact that they made sure that they made it very difficult for all their opponents. You could see that they really wanted to do well in this tournament, and they made sure to make it very difficult for all their opponents.
Confidence was definitely evident for the Olympic champions in the final when they took down local heroes Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi. Our expert and BWF commentator Steen Pettersson was on site at the Yoyogi First Gymnasium covering the final showdown, and here's what impressed him the most about Li and Wang's performance.
Yeah, they've done well in Tokyo in the Olympics, and then of course now here I don't think it's got so much to do with the place rather than the players being back in good shape, and what a lovely thing it is to see them back playing well, Li Yang and Wang Qilin. I look really forward to the final because I also think that Hoki and Kobayashi have played at a high level again in this tournament, as high as I've seen ever since they won the World Championships back in, was it 21, in Huelva. I think they played really well, and they can be proud of their tournament. But today, Li and Wang, they were a notch better. Well, they were solid. Wang Qilin was in better shape. He's been struggling the way I've seen it. Lots of injuries. It seems like his body is held together with sports tape, more or less. But he produced some really good badminton. Li Yang has played more than his partner. Also played in different partnerships and so on. And he also hit a high level and really got his game going, got confidence. I think when you're injured or come back from injury or hasn't played that well, you always doubt yourself a little bit. Will I ever get back, or was it just a lucky punch, the Olympics? Now they know that they're back, and it comes down to whether they can keep the injuries away. It's no doubt it's been a career-changing experience winning the Olympics and getting used to that and the attention that it draws afterwards. I think that's something that they've had to learn to deal with. But it's going to be interesting to follow them, and men's doubles has just become a bit more unpredictable.
觉得因为我们真的是经过了一段很低的低潮，然后最近是慢慢有在回稳。那我觉得这个冠军真的是让我们找到一个更明确的方向，让我们知道说之后的比赛我们该怎么做，然后之后我们该怎么再配对上去做调整。对我们来讲当然是一个很大的肯定，但是 我们还是会继续去解决我们场上遇到困难，跟我们搭配上的一些问题，不会说因为拿到这个冠军就觉得后面比赛都可以轻易的去拿下。
While Lee and Wang may have spoiled the party for Japanese fans in the men's doubles category, Yuta Watanabe and Arisa Higashino gave them plenty to cheer for by making history as the first local mixed doubles pair to win at the Japan Open. This victory was made even sweeter, wasn't it, as they had to defeat Dechapol Pravarana and Sapsiri Te Ratanachai, the very same pair who denied them the title in last year's tournament.
Having lost at the 2022 Japan Open against the Thai pair, going into this finals, the Japanese pair looked a lot more focused and a lot more motivated to win this time around. The edge that the Japanese pair had over the Thai pair is the fact that they reduced the amount of lifts that they were doing in the second game, unlike the first game where they were a lot more defensive. In the second game, we saw Watanabe and Higashino attacking a lot more and not giving away the offense as easily, and also counter-attacking really well. I would say that was the game changer for them, because in the first game we saw them lifting quite a bit and getting caught out on the defense. But in the second and third game, they made sure to take the net as well as keep the shuttle down, and their counter-attack was really good.
Speaking of sweet revenge, Kim So-young and Kong Hee-young certainly got theirs when they triumphed over world number ones Chen Xin-chen and Jia Yifan. Kim and Kong were denied the Korea Open title by the Chinese pair 2 weeks ago, but they learned from that and dominated here, didn't they?
They most certainly did. Kim and Kong had an incredible final match against Jia and Chen. They played very well. They made sure to not really give the Chinese pair any opportunity in that final match. And they made sure that it was a very good revenge against the Chinese pair, because they didn't give them an opportunity. They took to the net, they read the game really well, they defended well and attacked really well, and all around played a very solid final match.
재팬 오픈에서 4년 만에 또 한 번 더 우승을 할 수 있어서 너무 좋고, 그다음에 저번 주에 있었던 코리아 오픈에 이어서 똑같은 선수들과 결승을 뛰었는데 뭔가 이겨서 좀 더 기분 좋고 빠른 플레이에 조금 빨리 반응을 해야 된다고 생각을 하고 들어갔던 게 좀 좋은 결과로 이어진 것 같습니다.
Now, the Japan Open also saw the crowning of a new world number one in the women's singles discipline. It's inevitable, isn't it, to see An Se-young at the top of the world rankings considering how her year has been. The Korean increased her title tally to 7th after beating He Bingjiao in the final, but she also had Gregoria Mariska Tunjung to thank. The Indonesian helped dethrone the former world number one, Akane Yamaguchi, after defeating the Japanese in the quarterfinals. Gregoria eventually fell short in the semis, but she can definitely take away some positives from the week, can't she?
Almost certainly she did. Gregoria had an incredible week, having reached her first Super 750 semi-final and beating the former world number one Yamaguchi in 3 games. She had an incredible match against Yamaguchi where she played really well. She used her slices and reverse drops incredibly well, and she also made it very difficult for Yamaguchi by actually taking points and using her deceptive shots on court to make her work really hard. I would say in that semi-final match, Gregoria definitely gave He Bingjiao a very good fight. She played incredibly well, but especially the first and second game. Unfortunately, in the third game, I would say He Bingjiao upped the game. She read Gregoria's shots better. And I would say the fact that a lot more shots are coming back from He Bingjiao, especially with Gregoria's really good slices and chops being lifted back. It made it a bit difficult for her in that third game, but in that first and second game, she played really well, and it was quite unfortunate that in the second game, she ended up serving to the net at 19-20, which cost her that game, because up until that point, she played really well, and in the third game, He Bingjiao definitely played really well by making sure she attacked well. She was everywhere on court, and she read the game very well in that third game.
Banyak sisi positif yang bisa saya ambil, salah satunya adalah gimana saya harus konsisten di setiap gamenya, dari game 1, 2, dan 3, karena saya rasa di first round saya bermain cukup ketat dengan Pornpawi. Lalu kemarin di quarter final saya juga bermain ketat dengan Yamaguchi, ya pastinya itu adalah catatan yang bagus untuk saya, tapi saya nggak ingin puas di sini saja. Saya ingin belajar dan berbenah sehingga di turnamen selanjutnya bisa penampilan saya bisa lebih baik dan juga dapat hasil yang lebih baik.
And the season continues down under this week as the players head to Sydney for the Sathya Group Australian Open, the very last stop before the TotalEnergies BWF World Championships. How important can this be for some of the players?
I would say if I was one of the players getting ready for the World Championship, I would definitely look at this tournament to get in more court time, get in more match time, and make sure that I'm on court and doing whatever I am working at in terms of what I need to do well at the World Championship, and that would be the sole focus. And the important thing here is to make sure that the mindset and the attitude on court is right, and when we get onto court, we're going all out on court, keeping in mind whatever we're working on and keeping in mind that we won these matches and we won these wins in order to get our confidence up.
So for someone like Anthony Ginting, it's going to be an important stop, especially since he crashed out early in the Japan Open. Here, he's going to need to gain a bit of momentum as well as confidence. He takes on Kalong Angus in the opening round, a potentially tough task, considering how their head-to-head record slightly favors Ng.
So I would say it is going to be a tough first round match for Ginting because the head-to-head is fairly neck-to-neck. And it is going to be an important match for the two of them, and especially since it's going to be one that's going to give them the confidence getting into the tournament, having such a tough first round. It is going to be tough, and it's important to see how Ginting plays in this match and deals with the pressure of having a very tough first round.
And finally, Malaysia's Pearly Tan and Tina Murali Tharan will also be looking to go deep after the early round exits in Korea and Japan. They face defending champions Zhang Shuxian and Zheng Yu in the first round, a pair they've never beaten before. What do they need to do here to improve and maybe change that?
It is a tough first round for Pearly Tan and Tina because they're running into another top Chinese pair in that first round, like they did in the Japan Open and the Korean Open, where they lost to the world number one Chinese pair of Jian Chen. It is not going to be easy, but they have had a very good they did have a fairly good match against the world number one pair in Korea, which I would say would give them confidence going into this match, although they lost in Japan straight sets. But having given the world number one pair a really good fight always is a confidence booster. So I would say it's important for them to remember that match and remember how they played that match and go into this match with confidence and know that they also have it in them to take the game to their opponents.
It's building up to be a great Australia Open, but unfortunately, we've come to the end of today's show. Once again, thank you so much, Ashwini, for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so much for having me, Jasmine.
Don't forget to catch all the action from Sydney from the 1st of August all the way through to the 6th. If you guys are on the go, stay up to date with the latest news, match updates and statistics through the BWF app Badminton for You. And as always, keep your comments, thoughts and questions coming on our Facebook and YouTube page, and let us know who you are most impressed by in Tokyo. Until next time, take care everyone.